was in the club, but he was never in a club.
They want to be able to tack like 15 felonies upon jaywalking across the street. This outlaw motorcycle member and it doesn't matter what they stack on you.
Because they're a friend or they know somebody and they start hanging them around and making them an official hang around. Next thing you know, they're prospecting. Before you know it, they got a patch. And I'm going, you've never been in a club.
His dad was a bandito. He borrowed $100 from the club. It might have been 1,000. I don't know. But his own son was 86.
I think it was from that point on, I was like, one day, I'm going to be one of those guys.
And he said, if you don't get on a stand, you're going to lose. You're going to jail. I said, I can't take the stand.
Welcome to this episode of Chatting with Stacks. I'm your host, Bill Stacks, and today I got Repo, Rod, and Peewee. Yo.
Hey.
What's up?
What's going on?
How you doing?
It's another Sunday, man.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for joining me today. I appreciate it.
Oh, yeah.
I'm in recovery mode.
Yeah.
In recovery mode in a couple of days.
Been sick as a dog lately, man. Started on Christmas.
Vitamins, bro.
Yeah, I got to do something. Shout out to everybody out there that watches the show. How were you guys this Christmas?
Awesome. Great.
I got a big bag of coal.
Me too.
What, the club send it to you?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Where can we pick up those hoodies, Peewee?
Huh?
Where can people find those hoodies?
They're on the website. I had this red hoodie for a long time, so I just had them print the Peewee thing on it because it was the only red hoodie I had. The rest of them are all black.
They don't sell red ones there?
No, but I could get you a red one if you want one.
Oh, hell yeah. Hey, Maureen, how are you? Lindsay, Black Hand, what's going on, everybody? Jay Smacks, we got some people in now. Donna, how are you? So today, we're here to talk about what happened in Nevada. Your old territory, Peewee. So I have a little video we're going to play, and we're going to talk about it. So let's check it out.
The Nevada Supreme Court ruling today that the Hells Angels is a criminal gang under state law. Now that means a court case involving a freeway shooting from several years ago can now move forward. That shooting on the 95 2 years ago injured 7 individuals. Prosecutors say it was in retaliation for a previous murder. Now today's ruling means those charges will face gang enhancements in addition to what those individuals have already been facing.
Our 8 News Now investigators have learned that 4 members of the Las Vegas Hells Angels behind bars tonight after new charges were filed earlier today from a shooting on the US 95 last May.
Now authorities say a total of 8 members along with prospects from the group were charged today with racketeering. In fact, 7 of them face more than 30 charges total, including attempted murder.
6 people were hurt in that shooting that happened in May.
So what do you think of that?
It's a new. I didn't even know that happened, but
Yeah.
I knew it would happen.
2 days ago it took place.
Oh, I don't know. I don't pay attention to most of that shit anymore.
Yeah.
But that was going to happen. I figured that was going to happen 10 years ago. The RICO thing and the racketeering, it was all coming. Vegas is a place you don't play games in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They have the biggest law enforcement there. It's a fast growing city. You know what I mean? People go there. They were saying something like 30 to 50 people a month move there. It's I could see the difference in the 17 years I lived there. The difference, and how things were changing, and it just was getting ugly, man. When you're riding down Las Vegas Boulevard, broad daylight, 11 o'clock in the morning, you see a guy taking a shit right on the sidewalk. Yeah. 2 days later, I see a chick taking a shit. By the end of the week, I see this black girl with her pants pulled down pissing by some bushes. I mean, I figure if I stayed there a month, I'd see a lot more than that,
Probably.
I was only there 6 days and I got to see everybody taking a shit. So it's become pretty scummy. And you know what's amazing is when I started Las Vegas, I was doing it for the benefit of the club to make the club bigger and known in well areas like Vegas. And a lot of guys went to Vegas, for vacation, just to get away, playland for adults, and I knew we had to be there, and that's why I did that. And it's just the charter and the people, I mean, a couple of guys, later, 2, 3 of the fucking guys were rats, and George, Trey, Phil, and then everybody was like so spun out on this shit. And I'm not trying to be a hypocrite here. Yes, I've done it. But at 45 years old, I stopped all that shit and said, enough's enough. Never did it ever again. But these guys were so spun out. And I couldn't get them to stop taking it because of the bullshit rule they have. One man, one vote, which is totally bullshit. It ain't that way, right, Repo? It don't work that way.
No,
I walk into the room and tell the room, hey, I don't like Repo. I want him out of here. Okay. Nobody really talks about it. There's like, okay, Peewee wants him out. He's gone. I mean, that's what happened to me in the Minnesota thing, But they didn't vote on. They didn't vote on me. Pat just wanted me out.
That's what happened to me too. That same thing happened to me. They didn't vote on me, and they wanted me out.
See, so that one man, one vote, shove it up your ass. That don't mean nothing to nobody. To nobody. So I would always have to bring it up as a vote. I want to vote 86, the white powder, both kinds. The old disco and the go fast. Get rid of both of it. I don't care how much weed you smoke. Even though back then it was still, you'd go to jail for a seed on the floor of your car, which is different now. It's legal. I said, you smoke all the weed you want, drink whatever you want, but the powder is just bad news, man, and it makes us all look bad, and people look like stupid idiots. So I wanted a charter of shakers and movers. Instead, I got a charter of tweakers and geekers,
That's all over, Peewee.
Right. So I had to break away. And when I found the new guys that start another charter in that city, I made sure that the people were on the same page as me. I mean, are you for this shit or not? No, I don't do it. And I don't care for it. That's what I wanted. So when I got enough of the guys and we started building the charter, and that's when we broke off and we called it Sin City. Sin City's baddest. And we were on the west end of town. They were on the east end. They're in the hood. Straight up ghetto. And I mean,
like Philly.
Yeah. Well, no, Philly was worse. But their clubhouse was nice inside. But I mean, their backyard's just a dirt backyard, and they're in a bad neighborhood. Which now our old clubhouse is pretty much bad neighborhood now too. So I mean, as times go on, they get worse. But when we were there, it was a nice neighborhood. We had a swimming pool. We pimped it out. We really did. Anybody who came to our clubhouse was like, whoa, they couldn't believe it. But in the traditional ways of the Hells Angels, we were right on track because we hated Vegas and they hated us. Just like when I was in Frisco, they hated Daly City. I don't know why, but they did. They didn't like Oakland guys, or I don't know, man. It's crazy. We're all in the same club, but all got like these little attitudes. So yeah, maybe they're right. They are individual charters, but that's how they're going to get busted and go down now too.
But that gang enhancement, that kind of changes things because
Yeah.
it's gonna make them do more prison time. Number one, a lot more prison time.
Now, Peewee,
Yeah.
do you think you were around long enough? You remember the thing with the Mongols and they couldn't wear their colors and teeth, and there was a whole case on that.
Yeah.
I kind of think that they might wind up even moving farther than the conviction on these guys and going with something like that again on them.
Yeah, they might do that, but I think the only thing that's saving the Angels is that they got all their stuff incorporated, you know what I mean? And trademarked, which a lot of these other clubs don't get their shit trademarked, so they get it taken from them. But I think that, you know, they would have to fight the attorneys for the club. But when that happened with the Mongols, I remember there was people in our club that reached out to them to help them in that case to get their passes back, not out of kindness.
No, so it didn't come back on us.
Thank you. Answered my question. So yeah, they didn't want it coming back on us. So that's the reason why they helped them.
They take the patch from one group.
Yeah.
It's going to happen across the board.
It's a domino effect, bro.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I've heard that the Hells Angels put money into the fund and things like that. Is that true?
Oh, that's Repo. We're putting money in funds all the time.
Woo. Anyway, I can remember, I think it was 04, 05. We had an assessment come out, a 3-part assessment. It was like 850 this week, 600 2 weeks later, and then another 800 or 850 2 weeks after that.
Was that for Laughlin?
Yeah.
Yeah, because when I got out of jail, I had to do 30 days in South Dakota, right, in Sturgis jail.
Yeah.
I got out the morning of the shooting. That's the only reason I wasn't there. I would have been right in the archive of it.
Yep.
I'm losing my train of thought here. I got so much shit.
You get out of jail.
Oh, that's right. When I got out of jail and I got home, that's what I said. I've been packing shit around here. My brain's scrambled. But when I got out of jail, I remember I came home and, you know, nobody even said, "Hey, welcome home, brother. Hey, glad to see you." First words out of their mouth was, "Hey, man, yeah, we got like a $2,000 assessment for Laughlin." Because it costed us almost $3 million, I think, as a club to fight it.
Yep.
And every prospect and every member had to pay it. But it wasn't nothing like welcome home or anything like that. It was just, hey, man, you open assessment. Then the next thing was, we need you to go get JP. Because he got shot in Laughlin.
Yeah.
I wasn't supposed to leave the state, but like I said in my book, you're a 1%er. You just, you know, you live the life. You live the life that you chose, and law enforcement wasn't like going to abide any rules to us, you know. So I said, "Fuck it." I I jumped in my car and I drove all the way to Four Corners, you know, through Arizona, everything, and I picked them up. Yeah,
you went all the way there and got him.
Yeah, he was
shot during the Laughlin incident.
He was the first one shot.
Yep.
Very first one shot. And he when he walked up with Ray and Ray kicked the guy in the face, the Mongol in the face, the dude pulled out a 44 mag.
Yep.
And he shot him. And the bullet went through the back of his arm, like through the back here, and it came out of his chest. He told me when he hit the ground, He was a prospect at the time. He opened up his vest and he said the bullet was laying right on his chest. And he said it was burning him because it was burning hot. And he said he just flinged it off. I said, fuck, I would have kept that thing and made a ring out of it.
Yeah.
You know?
Did he get his patch because of this whole situation?
Yeah. He was voted in. He was voted in. And then they had another guy that was there too, another prospect that you see him every time they show those Laughlin films. He's a guy that's dancing, like doing this back and forth, big, heavy Mexican-looking guy, but he's Salvadorian. And I don't want to say his name, but I never liked the guy. He was just looking for an image and got himself in a club, and he didn't do shit. He got punked out, and he got punked out so bad so many times that even after I left Frisco, I heard they booted him out of the club because, you know, he was getting called names and shit like that from people at bars.
Not doing nothing.
He wouldn't do anything. And we had a prospect. Frisco had a prospect named Mike, cool as fuck. And he got in a really bad bike accident and broke his back and he was paralyzed. And he was in a wheelchair. He was really a good dude, man. And he was with them one night. And when they started punking him out, these guys in a bar, Mike pulled the gun out and blasted up the bar, man, laid everybody down. And then they took off. And I'm just saying, that's the kind of prospect Mike was. He would have been a great member. He would have been good, you know? But when he couldn't ride anymore, he couldn't walk anymore, basically, I don't know what they told him. I'm not going to speculate, you know, but I don't know if they told him, hey, you know, you can't ride, you really can't do anything. Man, what they should have done is just let him be in the club, man, because, I mean, the dude was a straight-up soldier. He'd be one of those guys you take to a function, he'd pull a gun out, you know what I mean, on a wheelchair and start blasting. That's what he was. But, he had his old lady take him down to the ocean, and he reeled out there to look at the ocean. She didn't know it. He pulled the gun out and boom. Killed himself.
Wow, with his wife there? He had his wife bring him there?
Well, how's he going to get there? He couldn't drive.
Wow. He didn't say anything? Like he just did that?
I just did it, man.
You got to say unalived himself. Unalived himself.
Yeah,
hey, I gotta say, you know, for a dude to take his own life, people call them cowards. I don't know. I think that takes a lot of balls. A lot.
Yeah, but you know yourself, Repo, the club frowns on that. You know, Stacks.
Oh yeah.
You don't get buried a Hell's Angel if you kill yourself, and you're like you erase from the books. You know what I mean?
Really? I didn't know that. I did not know that.
Forgotten.
Yeah. The minute you do it, they're like, Peewee who? Yeah. Don't even mention my name again.
Don't matter how long you've been in the club, nothing.
No, it don't matter. Because they figure it's like a cowardly way out, you know? Because the way I think, you know, like people said, it takes a lot to do that. It does. But you know what? It's harder to go on living and face life than just say, fuck it, and end it.
Yeah, but your family has to deal with it all, you know?
Well, that's what I mean by, you know what I mean? You're not using your head. You're ending your life, and you're hurting other people along the way.
Yeah.
And I do believe he had some kids, too, if I'm not mistaken.
I can tell you, that must have been a mess to clean up.
Yeah, I just, it was sad that he lost his life, but I was glad that this member I was talking about, he got thrown out. They told me either leave or you get him thrown out. I pounded the shit out of him in the clubhouse one time. And, you know, when you fight, Repo knows this, when you fight, you're not allowed to kick. You're not allowed to hit another brother with rings on.
You're not?
No.
And those guys forgot about the rules that day, Repo.
And you're not supposed to
tell me about that.
Yeah, right. And you're not supposed to go to the floor with the guy. You know what I mean? You're not supposed to like.
Yeah.
Because believe me, man, the wrestler I was, I could have went to the floor anytime I wanted with these guys, you know. But I could box too, so it was easy for me to talk this shit, you know, and stand there and stand toe to toe with you and pound your face up, you know. But that's the difference between somebody trained to fight and somebody who ain't, you know. And they just they have those rules for a reason. And I got in a fight with this dude because he disrespected me up in the Redwood run. And it was just over some pig, you know what I mean? But he didn't ask to ride my pig, you know? So I took it as I took it as disrespect, you know? So when we got back to the clubhouse, I told him, "You ready, man?" He's like, "Oh, come on, man. You got to be serious." I go, "You ready?" And when I stood up, I punched him in the mouth, and he flew back, and he put his hands up. He said, "Let's go." And I stepped into him, I was going to hit him with a right hook. When I stepped into him, he kicked me square in the balls with steel-toed boots on. And I'm not going to bullshit you. My nuts went up into my stomach, and I was like, whoa. Because there's a difference here I got to explain. Because I'm a fighter. If I fought you on the street, I didn't know you, I'm already aware of that. I'm already aware that you may kick me in the nuts or something like that, because a fight's a fight, you know.
There's no rules. Yeah, there's no rules in a street fight.
But this was a rule. This was a club rule, so I never thought I'd get kicked in the balls, you know.
Yeah.
So when he kicked me in the balls, I kind of ducked over a little bit. I was like, whoa, because I could feel my nuts up in my stomach. And I think it was one of the members in there yells out, "Hey, we don't kick. You can't kick." And he went, sorry, forgot. Now I'm pissed, you know. Hit him with shots. He's throwing these haymakers, and his fist glanced my jawbone like that, just nicked it. Man, I swear to God, I thought he hit me with a hammer. That's how hard. My jaw, my whole side of my face went numb. I was like, holy shit, that hurt. I looked down. He's got this monster ring on his finger, this big skull head, right?
Oh,
yeah.
Man.
I looked at him. I said, "Hey, what's with the fucking ring?" And he went, "Oh." And somebody yells out, "That's $100 fine." In the meantime, my face hurts, you know?
Yeah.
Because I like to box everybody, and I like to sting them up, beat them up, and throw them, get them down before they even get a punch off on me. You know? But this time, I got rocked. I got rocked with that ring. So he pulled it off, and he threw it on the bar. So I'm thinking, well, I got kicked in the balls. I got punched with the ring.
What next?
So then I just went to town on him. And it was kind of funny because, Repo, you've been in the Frisco clubhouse, haven't you?
Yes.
Okay. They got a bell in there, Billy, a big bell that you can walk in and ring it. Ding, 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 ding. I mean, it's a big bell.
Yeah.
Like a big Liberty bell hanging in there. Hilarious, bro. I'm throwing punches. Boom, boom, boom. He's going backwards. He goes backwards and his head goes right inside that bell. And I'm throwing punches in it. And it's bing, bang, bing, bang. He's ringing the bell in his head.
Bing, bing, bing.
Yeah. So I was taking in his punches, you know, bing, bang, bing, bing. So he hit the floor, then he got up. Then I pounded him again. He hit the floor, got up, and he put his hands up and he said, "That's enough." And I was kind of glad because I hit him with a really good hook. When I hit him in the side of the head. I don't give a shit what anybody says. Like, I see these guys who headbutt. I don't know why headbutting you would headbutt somebody, because I mean you're hurting your own head, you know?
Yeah.
Well, I hit him so hard, my hand hurt it so bad from hitting that bone in his head, because I hit it with the side knuckle right here when I swung. I hit him with that bone that sticks out the side of your wrist here. Son of a bitch, that thing swelled up. So we went upstairs, and I had a little bag of ice. I had it on. I shook his hand. We gave you a hug, and then we went upstairs. We had our meeting. I'm sitting at the table. I got a little bag of ice. I got my hand resting on this bag of ice, to bring the swelling down to my wrist. But it wasn't as bad as him sitting over with a bag of ice like this on his face, you know?
No,
So
the big
I
bag.
figured I won that one. And then, after that, there's a couple times he even said to me, I know you don't like me. Well, I didn't like him because he was like, when you go to bars with him and shit, he would be like all up in these girls' face because, he thought, hey, look at me, I'm a Hell's Angel. Chicks would flock to you anyway, but not that guy. At the time he was a blimp, you know what I mean? And he was fat as hell, man. Girls weren't going digging for him and shit. And he'd be up on him like Mr. Rock. We were calling him on the side like a joke. Guys in Frisco, hey, where's Octopussy? Because, he had his hands all over these chicks in the bar. Hey, is Octopussy coming? And we laughed, But then when I heard he got kicked out because some dude in the bar called him a punk or whatever he called him, and he didn't do shit. And he just got on a bike and rode away, and people who know the club called and told on him. And they basically said, step out or step, you're going to get stepped on. So he stepped out. What happened to him after that, I don't know, and I don't care.
So you know some of these people who were involved with this Nevada thing.
Actually,
right?
I only know one.
Here, I got a picture of all their mugshots right here.
Okay, the first guy with the gray beard, naturally, I know.
He was the president, right?
Yeah.
Right. I brought him to Vegas from Massachusetts. He lived with me. And, I got to be honest with you. When I left and I knew he took over the presidency, I thought he'd do a good job. And at the time, I guess he was, but I never had no personal issues with Rick, But when I just got a sour taste in my stomach when those guys were running around saying, oh, he's a rat, he's this, without reading onto my paperwork and getting the facts, it pissed me off. So I had this thing in my mind every time I ran one of them, I was going to beat the shit out of them. And most of them knew it. Most of them knew it because most of them that would stop or come, like, hey, what's going on? Want to talk to me? They did it. Like one said something to me at a doctor's, twice at a doctor's office. One guy, and he's kicked out. Well, actually, they're both kicked out. And the one guy said something to me, and I told him, hey, motherfucker, you want to get up and go outside? You want to do something?
After you were out?
I was out. Yeah. And he says, oh, it ain't like that. It ain't like that. And this dude was as big as me. Repo, I don't want to say his name. He's not worth saying. But Repo probably knows from the Vegas guy. He's a big guy, a big one like me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I told him, hey, let's step outside. Let's go outside. Because I threw him against the wall once before and he didn't want to fight. You can be a big man, mostly big guys, and I've seen a lot of them. They can't fight. They're just big. They try to like grapple with you or throw some wild punches or sucker punch. I don't do any of that shit, bro. But I'm not bragging. I'm not beating myself on my own chest, but I can fight. So there was a big difference. And this dude, I saw him fight. He couldn't fight. And I told him, you want to go outside? And he's like, oh, it ain't like that. I said, no, I didn't think it was. Then they called me in. When I came out, he left. He split. And then I went to that same doctor again because I hooked all those guys up with that doctor. He was like Dr. Vinny Buba, right?
Yeah.
And he would give us any pills you wanted. Hey, I need some Valium, man. I need some painkillers. He'd write them all. He got busted for it.
Yeah.
And he was a cool doctor at first because, he would always like just rap with you like me and Repo, or you would rap, you know what I mean? Like, we talk on the side on the phone and shit like that.
Yeah.
And then I started seeing weird shit, like just weird crap from him, Like if I showed him on the phone, I said, look at these chicks I just seen in Europe. I was banging them out. And he'd say, hey, can you send that to my phone? And I said, for what? He was married. He had 4 boys, right? I said, for what? And he goes, well, I just want to keep I don't know if he was beating off to him. I said, what am I going to send him a picture? I'll tell you what he did do. when I stopped going by him, well, I stopped going by him. I went to prison.
Yeah.
He told my ex-wife, he told her, he says, hey, you better let me do a full checkup on you, like for AIDS and STDs and stuff like that. She said, why? Oh, man. He goes, if you knew half the shit Peewee was doing, and a doctor shouldn't do that, bro.
No,
That's a privacy rule, man.
I get millions of dollars for that.
Yeah, well, you know what? I don't want to do it because I don't want to. Once again, I felt, well, if I did that, it'd be like snitching on him. So I just told him what a punk ass bitch he is, But yeah, I could have sued him. Got some money out of it, but
that's some real fucking grimy shit to do to somebody.
Yeah. I'm sure that helped in the divorce,
And what he took?
Oh,
They used those pictures against you.
I never gave him no pictures, bro.
Oh,
I never sent him no pictures. I deleted them. I just showed them and then I deleted them,
Yeah. He's probably trying to get in your old lady's pants.
Give him pictures. He probably would.
I never gave no pictures. I had video. Even at times I showed him video, you know what I mean? And he was loving it, man. And know what he told me in the room? He says, I'm not kidding you, Peewee. I'm a sex addict. I said, are you really? Now, his wife was his patient, and he fell in love with her, and he banged her out, knocked her up. He married her. She had a boy, and she had another boy, and she had another boy. I think maybe he had 3 boys. Yeah, maybe 3, not 4. Yeah, 3. And he told me that he jacks off like 3 times a day. I just thought, well, you know what? Power to him, man. Let him do his thing. I mean, I was getting like, I could get, he would prescribe my testosterone, so I didn't have to buy it on the market, on black market. I'd have to go to the gym and buy it illegally. Yeah. I got it right from Walgreens, and I shot it myself. You know
what's funny, Freeway? Would you saying that is? I know my old lady's watching this. That him whacking off sounds like her ex-old man that is an ex-corrections officer who's in a support club for Jersey Hells Angels. We call him the Chinaman because he used to whack off in the fucking bathroom, the little bitch.
But getting back to the Vagos thing, I knew Rick. And I think after so long, and this is my opinion, okay? Just my opinion, no facts. I'm just speculating that they were probably so sick of everybody saying you ain't doing shit. Because when I opened up Sin City, they didn't go anywhere. The only time you ever saw them is when they had a party or you went and knocked on their clubhouse door. Never saw them riding down the roads. We went to bars. We went everywhere. The functions, they didn't go anywhere. And that looked bad. That was just bad. And everybody knew it was bad blood between both of us, And when Rick should have had those guys out and humping and pumping and moving, you know what I mean? Yeah, taking care of club business like I was doing. And look what happened to us, man. We got caught up in that case and a bunch of us went to prison.
Yeah, but you never
not a bunch of us. A few of us went to prison. The bunch took the deal. So they're the rats.
You never really had a big problem with the Vagos, right?
No, I never really did. And they were there first, because I remember one time one of them said to me, when their bosses said, we were the big club in this town till you moved in. And I said, well, hey, man, don't be whining about it. I says, we can hang out. I didn't, they didn't bother me. I knew their tattoo shop is. I met with them many times in their tattoo shop. I don't want to get into all that crap I did on other podcasts, but yeah, with the fight with Pussy Boy Brandon and all that stuff. But I'm just saying, I always had sit downs with them and I could work everything out with those guys. And there was no backing down from me. I basically was like, well, this is the way it is. And like I was telling you before, Billy, one of those guys was my very best friend, Tommy Mack, and he died Rest in peace, bro. He was a good dude. I'd go out to breakfast with him and stuff, and I asked him one time, I said, hey, bro, you ever think about coming my way? And he said, I thought about it one time, Pee-wee, and he said, I was going to ask you about it, but man, I got like 17 years in this club, and I just might as well stay where I'm put. And I said, okay. I could understand he didn't want to prospect again and shit like that. And when you start getting older, it's a lot different, but I liked him, and he was my friend, and I still talk to him, and I still talk to some of those guys. Matter of fact, one of them called me up and said, Pee-wee, I'm going to move down to your area. Now, if he moves down here, they're going to start a charter here. And I said, go ahead, man. I said, if that's what you want to do, man, I said, do it. I don't care. I don't care about anybody.
Yeah. Like right now, you're neutral. You don't.
I don't give a shit about anybody.
That are in the club, people that are out the club, people that are in all kinds of different clubs. Doesn't even matter. You're just a civilian now.
Yeah. I have no fight in this game whatsoever.
Did you ever think that things would boil over with the Vagos out there? Maybe with these other factions of the Hells Angels?
Yeah, I think it would, because they were getting so big. You know what I mean? They had like 4 charters, like East, West, North, South, Nomads. Yeah, they had a lot of guys, man. And they never really tried to make any moves on us. And it was, I'm just trying to think the best way to say it. It was more like, they felt like, because we came into town and the Hells Angels were the cream of the crop thing. They felt like they were inferior to it, which they shouldn't have felt that. And they felt like all of a sudden we took their spotlight. There you have it. Yeah, we took their spotlight, and we weren't trying to do that. I told them, we hang out, people see us together, man. What the hell? But it didn't work out that way, but we were cordial to one another. We were.
So a Vago ended up killing Hell's Angel, right?
Right. That's why. Yeah.
That's where all this transpires over.
And they killed Jeffro up in Reno. See, because Reno was the first charter in Nevada. But that's another charter. The only time you saw them was on their poker run, or if you went to their clubhouse.
Yeah.
Or they owned the whorehouse too at the time. I think they lost that.
Here's a picture of Reno, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. Probably half those guys ain't even in there anymore. But they didn't do jack shit. Even when they came to Sturgis, they had a shop down by Gunner's Bar, and I was at the other end of the street, like 2 blocks, 2.5, 3 blocks. And those guys, let me tell you something, man. Every time something was going to kick off with another club, they did a Houdini, man. They disappeared. So I really never had no respect for that charter. And, the guy who ran it thought he was like some paralegal or something, when really all he was a booger eater. I've seen him many times in meetings, eating his shit. So I just, I didn't care for Booger Eater and his whole crew, and they didn't do shit. They never came down to help us. And I'll be honest with you, I wouldn't have went up to help them. You got to show me before I go show you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it would have changed things if all these charters were to stick together and like support each other, but it doesn't
be
seem
one
like
club.
Yeah.
Be one club.
Yeah.
But they are not bad. They are not bad.
No, you get 2, 3 of them, they get together and they're better than all the rest of them.
Yeah, that's their unfortunate. That's their problem. That thing they did on the freeway was probably the most stupidest, dumbest thing I've ever seen. But it doesn't really strike me as strange with those guys, because they're all kind of weirdos anyway. But Rick, to do that, look at it this way:
broad daylight
in front of 1 million people. Just left a memorial funeral at it was Memorial Day weekend. They just left a graveyard, you know, where they're doing military services. Yeah, and then they pulled on a ramp. The lady recorded the whole thing. I saw the thing on TV, and they pull up in broad daylight, pull right up next to the guys, and start blasting. Now, here's the key thing, because I put in my book, you guys run your mouths a lot over there, which they do, and that's all they ever did was run their mouths. I said, if you guys would stop running your mouths and maybe go to a gun range and learn how to shoot and shit, you're going to pull up on somebody. You should have just pulled up and shot them with beanbag guns or pull up and try to stab them with a rubber knife. Because I'm telling you, they pulled side by side, shot like 6 or 7 of these people. Nobody died. Yep. So it was like, I swear to God, I'm going to get you, Billy. I'm going to get you. I shoot you in the leg. I sure the hell ain't going to kill you, bro. Well, if you're going to do something like that, you might as well do headshots on all of them, because I'm going to tell you this.
Yeah.
They're going to get as much time as they would have for killing them. Conspiracy to murder, RICO, gang enhancement.
They're done. They're
you
done.
Just got to wait. Just give it a little time. They'll start rolling. Those guys start rolling on each other.
Yep.
Here's
somebody will want to step out in 10 years' time or something, and he'll flip on everybody.
I have another article. I got another article with them. Check it out.
Now, that shooting between the Hells Angel and a rival gang may have been in retaliation for murder. Thank you for joining us here at 6. I'm Brian Loftus.
And I'm Denise Valdez. 6 people shot right on the 95, closing the freeway for hours. And today in court, what may have led up to all of this. The 8 News Now I-Team's David Charnes was in that courtroom. And David, the judge saying he's worried there could be even more violence.
Yeah, Denise and Brian, the judge making that statement after prosecutors said Sunday's shooting on the freeway in Henderson may have actually been in retaliation for a murder last month, all involving the same motorcycle gangs.
The concern for the state is that what nobody ever wants to happen on the freeways of Las Vegas happened here.
It happened Sunday, a shootout on the 95 in the middle of the day. Prosecutors revealing Thursday they believe the shooting between the Hells Angels and the Vagos was retaliation for murder last month.
We know that a month back, about a month ago in San Bernardino, a Vagos did kill a Hells Angels.
Investigators alleging that boiled over during a Veterans Memorial ride. The rivalry escalating on the 95 when police say 3 men opened fire. The president of the Las Vegas chapter, 66-year-old Richard DeVries, and 2 gang prospects, 46-year-old Stephen Allo and 26-year-old Russell Smith, each facing multiple charges, including attempted murder.
One of the bullets actually goes from where the shooting is all the way across the freeway, all the way into an LDS church in a car.
Prosecutors had asked the judge to hold each man on $1 million bail, their attorneys painting them as stable citizens with no criminal records.
We're dealing with a 66-year-old individual who is honorably discharged from the military, who has absolutely no criminal record whatsoever.
Many of these members are veterans, and they are they've been super patriotic versus disrespectful to it.
The judge agreeing with prosecutors about possible further violence, jailing each man on nearly $400,000 cash.
I believe that there is clear and convincing evidence that all of these defendants are a danger to the community.
Now, those 2 attorneys who you heard from there say that police have not actually said who fired the bullets, though all 3 of those men face attempted murder charges, and everybody is expected back in court in this in less than 2 weeks. I'm David Charnes, live local.
Not looking good for any of them.
Nope.
I got 2 words for a man. Who cares?
Yeah.
I think that dude might probably spend the rest of his life in prison.
What's left of it?
Over some dumb shit.
It's been coming.
The guy in the middle. Go ahead, bro.
It's been coming. You know, this has been coming for the last 20 years because the whole structure has fallen apart of that club. it's disintegrated. It's become these little pods of clubs, and the whole base structure of it is falling apart. Brothers are no longer brothers when you get down to the rubber meeting the road.
Yeah, it was a dumb thing. It was a dumb thing they did, and I know they don't leave their clubhouse or come out. I mean, there's so many Mongols, so many Vagos in that town. Now there's pagans. So I think those guys are double scared. You know what I mean? They're probably riding.
So do I.
They're probably riding around and on each other's bike double. Just for backup.
A month, 2 months ago, I'm up there in Jersey. I watched, and I know who to do this. A Jersey HA member pull over on the side of the road on his bike. I go, wow, what an opportunity he's about to knock. No, he takes his colors off, puts them in his fucking saddlebag, gets on his bike, drives to the coffee shop. Now, the coffee shop is one where a lot of pagans frequent. Goes inside, gets his coffee, comes out, gets on his bike. I follow him out of there. Goes down the road a few miles, stops, gets his colors back out and puts them on. You did that in my house, I'd have got rid of you. Because you just showed how much of a bitch you really are.
Yeah.
And the shit they've been running on the pagans, they got good reason to be scared.
Well, yeah, we were doing some remodeling here at the house and stuff, and one of the guys that's here is like, I've known him since junior high school, and he's here helping me, and he goes, hey, Chuck, did you see this? And I said, what? And he showed me where two Hells Angels attacked this pagan, and he jumped off his bike. I was watching it, and they were running from the pagan. And I'm just being honest. I just looked at him. I said, hey, I don't even want to see it. The last couple of fights, the last couple of fights that I've seen, all these, hey, it's embarrassing, bro. They're getting the shit kicked out of them. They're running. They're jumping on their bikes. I'm telling you, man, I used to sit back and watch it. If I saw you do that, Billy, I saw you get on your bike and you split. First thing when I saw you, I'd beat the piss out of you and send you down the road.
Yep.
But that's probably part of their new rules because they got a bunch of new fucked up rules, I think, I mean, they throw people out in prison now. They don't really care, And I used to have a sticker saying, fuck the rules. And they didn't like that. They say, hey, why would you have that around? I said, hey, because that was 20 years ago. Fuck the rules. Yeah, fuck them because really nobody's paying attention to them now anyway. But yeah, I saw that. I didn't even watch it. I didn't even watch the whole thing. I said that was like the third one I saw of Angel getting. And then a guy, I don't know, a couple of weeks ago or a couple of months, I don't remember what it was, showing me where some angels attacked, I don't know, a supporter or pagan, wherever was on his bike, and he attacked him. But that sounds like them. That sounds more their style. You know what I mean? If there's like 4 or 5 of them, and then they want to get down. But even though I saw that one on the street where that pagan's walking down the street with that bat in his hand, whatever it was, they were all running and all kinds of shit. It's embarrassing. That's why I say, man, nobody had me. I've been trying. It's weird, though. The older I get, like I said, my skin's turning into like paper mache. It's getting real thin. I go have this shit covered up, like when I covered up the angels on my neck and shit like that. Christ, man, it took forever to heal. I mean, skin just ain't healing. I cover it up because not the right thing to do. I cover it up because I'm ashamed, But everybody knows who I am. I can't hide. I'm 6'8", 320 pounds, and
but if
I can't blend in or blend out.
When you got tattoos, you could just get an out date on them. You don't have to cover them up, right?
Well, which I did, when I quit. And then 4 months later, they said we changed your status, and then they thought they'd be tougher guys, telling everybody we kicked him out of the club.
Yeah.
They couldn't kick me in the ass.
So if they say you're out bad, what does that mean? That just means you gotta put the out date on your thing? regardless,
No,
you gotta
then you're supposed to cover them
No,
up. Then
you
you're
got to
supposed to
cover
cover them up.
everything.
But I feel like I earned what I got, and you know, how much time do I got to go? 3 years? I don't know, maybe a year, 5 years, 10 years. Shit, if it takes fucking 10 of them coming down the road, I'm blasting everybody, man. Because I'm not going to take shit from, and I'm not just talking angels, I'm talking everybody. I'm not going back to prison for a fist fight, bro. Hell no. I might as well go for the dirty deed.
Exactly.
Because, yeah, but like I said, I have no fight in the game. I don't give a shit. Leave me alone. I leave you alone.
Yeah.
Don't bother me. I don't bother you.
Do you guys think that this club got way too big?
Yeah. They're having the same problems. They're having the same problems the pagans are having. You know, like I said, I talked to Keith. I never met him in person, but he seems a real level-headed guy and stuff. But when he was doing that blue wave thing, bringing all those clubs in, you don't know what garbage you're picking off the side of the road when you pick up all them groups. And there's snitches, rats. I mean, I had 4 Hell's Angels wearing wires on me. 4 patched members. So if anybody should hate the club, I should hate them.
Yeah.
Anybody who says rats, they're rats. They were full patch members trying to rat on me.
Yep.
And then how about the 6 members that took the plea agreement in my case, threw me under the bus?
Yep. Yeah. The guy that banged me was a paid informant. And you had 2 other rats in the house that were working for law enforcement. You had Tommy's fucking ex-girlfriend. She was always talking to the cops. And I laughed because she sent me a real shitty text message. You know, I still talk to people. Well, do you talk to the cops still? Oh, well, you still talk to the club. Does the club know that you're a fucking piece of shit and you tell the cops everything that's going on? I hope so.
They don't care about that. They do it themselves.
Nope. Dumbasses.
So what do you guys think's in store for this club?
I don't think for this club. I think it's for all clubs, man. I think it's going to come down to the government making it like the mob shit, you know, like RICO, gang enhancements. It's going to get so way out of whack. You know, it's like the guys that all call me, and I'm so honored. I really am. I knew I made a place in that club, and I made a mark in it. Because every Hell's Angel who gets out of that club, if they know me or not, they reach out to me. Other club guys reach out to me. The only guy to reach out yesterday was a guy who said, hey, man, I'd like to be in your Brothers for Life thing, you know? Maybe we can get a support group going. I said, what are you out of your fucking mind? For who? He said, the 81 guys. Boop, deleted them.
Yep.
Yeah, he could start his own support suck-off club.
Yeah.
But I think it's for all of them. It's going to be a bad thing because the government, you just can't beat the fuckers. They got too much money and they got too much power. And, you know, anybody else, I'm not just saying this because it was me, but when the feds came into the prison to see me, they offered me $5,000 just to tell them how the club operates, not rat on anybody, just tell them how it functions and operates. And they would get me out of prison and give me $5,000.
Yeah.
And I turned them down, man. And the next thing I know, John Merchant's getting released. I do 29 months, he does 18, and he's the one who stabbed him.
Yep.
I think John took the deal.
Yeah.
I can tell you, how do you think that happened, Peewee? You know?
Yeah, you know, I'm not trying to cut it short, but I got some shit I got to do around here. I'm actually sick of talking about them guys.
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate you coming on, Peewee.
All right.
You guys have a great day, man.
Happy New Year's.
All right. Go
I'll
Pack,
talk to you
man.
soon, brother.
All right, bro. Love you guys. Great.
All right. Love you too, man. Take care.
Bye.
All right.
What's good, Repo?
Oh, it's all good, man. It's always good. It's always good when I talk to Charlie.
Yeah. Shout out to Peewee. Go check out his book, Brotherhood, The Greatest Lie Ever Told, Charles Peewee Goldsmith. So, easy, Champion says, I never knew that the club life had so much BS in it, but I guess it
It's
goes
nothing but.
with the lifestyle out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's insane.
It's across the board, Bill. It's not just in Vegas or in New York or Pennsylvania. It's across the board. It's
Yeah.
politics, man.
Every single
Politics
state
run that
has
club.
the same thing. I guarantee it.
Yep.
They have rivalries. They have
yeah.
people cooperating against each other.
Yep. And I'll say, I'm not getting involved in their business, but I think there's a lot of mixed emotions with what Conan did with the Blue Wave. Right or wrong, that was his gig. Support him in it. He's the one at the front of the helm. Take it up with him. He's going to hit the streets here soon. We'll see what's going down. Supposedly, as we know, Hellboy's no longer there. Broadway passed away. Gorilla's supposedly out. And, Conan's going to be hitting the street again.
But he's going to be on non-association, so he's not going to be able to do
non-association doesn't always mean non-association, if you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Cue Ball, what's up?
And he pulled that club. He grew it, but in the same respect, in my eyes, I think it grew in the wrong direction. Like Peewee had said, you don't know who these guys are that were pulled in from all these other places. And I'm just saying, whether they were patched in 3 months, 4 months, 5, 6, 7, 8 months, when shit starts happening, you don't know what's going to happen if you're that person and this other guy are snatched up for that case. If he's going to be solid in that and just shut up and take whatever comes at him. I think a lot of them won't.
98%,
a lot of them will not.
Pretty much, I think 98% won't.
Yeah, that's a problem. But their numbers, just what I know. And, I've got a friend that's a member with them. I grew up with the guy. And their numbers are astronomical right now. If 6 out of 10 of those Blue Wave guys are solid, I personally think they outnumber the red and white. And if those guys are solid and shit sets off, red and white got something to worry about.
Yeah, they are getting pretty big.
Oh, hell yeah.
Pretty well known. Like the Pagans are a force to be reckoned with. But I think they were much more elite back in the day when they were a small group of guys that were quality guys.
Well, they were solid guys back in the day, Bill. A lot of those guys were veterans. And I don't know how many are left, but a lot of guys in there were veterans and, just straight up hardcore guys. And as time goes on, we all get older. And it doesn't make us any less who we are when shit goes down. It doesn't, not at all. And I think Peewee and I both said before, we don't have rules anymore. We don't have to listen to rules anymore.
Yeah, there is no bylaws. There is no bylaws.
No.
There is none of that.
There's none of it.
I correlate all of this with the former gang life that I used to live. It is so similar to that type of life. It's crazy because I see the similarities on the betrayal, on the trying to think that everyone's there for you when they're really not. You think it's something, but other people think it's something else. It's a bunch of bullshit, man.
They only support you when it benefits them.
Yeah.
If there's no benefit in it, let that one go. Let that one go. Well, he'll be out in 20 years. We'll see what he's like then.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm sure there's some great people that are a part of the club. Maybe there's some that feel trapped, maybe because they've been in it for so long and that's all they know.
The club becomes your life. There is no two ways about that. Your family is second nature. The club is your life. You know, when they tell you it's family first and then club, that's a crock of shit. That's not true. But, you know, that being said, I got to get out of here myself, Bill.
I appreciate you, man.
Yeah.
Make sure you guys go check out Repo's show on YouTube. I'll put a link in the description of this video. Go check out Pee-wee's book, The Greatest Lie Ever Told, Brotherhood. I appreciate all you guys. Have a great New Year, Repo. Happy
all right,
Merry
you too.
Christmas. Merry late Christmas.
Yep.
And safe travels, man.
Absolutely, always.
Thank you.
Take care.
Later, man. Thank you guys all for joining me today. I appreciate you. I will be back on tomorrow with some more new content. And I hope you guys all have a great New Year. I hope you had a great Christmas. Hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Check out some of my videos. There is tons of videos to go over. If you can't find them, go to under live videos and scroll, and you'll see so many damn videos. But I'm going to be dropping new content. Go check out Patreon. If you want to donate to the show, you can donate through Cash App at Chatting with Stacks. If you want to be a guest on the show, email me at billstacks2021@gmail.com, and I'll put you on as a guest. I appreciate all you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. If you like this show, hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can get my videos every time they drop. And if you don't like this show, too fucking bad. Start your own podcast.
And all new at 5, a major organized crime bust. 23 people under arrest now accused of stealing guns and cash.
Today, police revealed 4 organized crime groups are wreaking havoc.
From aggravated robbery to kidnapping, burglary, and more. Let's take a look at this. New pictures from court documents in this case. These are a few of the people who have been charged. And investigators say the money, tens of thousands of dollars, is all stolen.